And remember, RG, this is MUT draft mode, so you're going to see some guys playing that not necessarily play for Philly or New York out there on the field.
Yeah, that's very important, Scott. For the casual viewer at home, they see the Eagles versus Giants, and they're going to expect to see Carson Wentz out there, Eli Manning. That's not the case. These are just the uniforms that these players are using. The teams that they actually have, the personnel, were made up in the MUT draft mode, and the MUT draft mode is like a fantasy draft style mode in Madden. If you're a fantasy draft guy and you like Madden, this is the mode for you, where they go through different rounds of the draft to build their teams and out of a complete random pool of players and former NFL legends. So if you see a guy like Julio Jones in an Eagles jersey, that's why.
The gentleman's agreement, they're going to set their audibles, so forget that delay of game. They agreed on that ahead of time, that little extra time to set your substitutions and your audibles, so you're not trying to do that on the fly. Everything is already set up. We mentioned 5-minute quarters, 20 minutes of Madden to see who's going to take home a large chunk of this $190,000 prize pool that we've had here this weekend. Both these guys have punched their ticket to the Madden Bowl. That'll be at the end of the year. We still have a last chance qualifier that's out there. You want to get involved? Ladders are open right now. We could see you here at one of these events in the future. And you're like, that's not possible. Yeah, this is Chritobin's first live event. He is here in the final against the former champ. And Deshaun Watson sacked up.
It's a big way to open up the game. If you're young Drini, especially going up against Chritobin, like you said, Scott, in his first ever live event, obviously his first ever live finals with a big crowd in a hectic atmosphere, and you open up the game with a big sack. It'll be interesting to see how Chritobin can respond to that.
Well, he goes up top to Calvin Ridley. One hand grab problem. There's a way to respond.
Yeah, huge play there. If you looked at Drini's defense pre-snap, his cornerback was aligned inside. Chritobin saw that, put his receiver on a fade, and hit him over the top for a first down.
We got our studio audience here at our brand new Studio 209. We also got a lot of players that were in this tournament and those that have made live finals before hanging out, watching these two Titans go at it, and there is a drop by Jordan Reed.
And that's a big hit by young Drini. That's high-level Madden. He's clicking onto that defender and doing a user hit stick to knock that ball out. And that's how they defend those short drag routes in real life. If someone wants to check down underneath, well, let you check down, but your receiver's going to have to pay for it after he makes the catch. And that's what Drini did right there. Made him pay for it and knocked the ball out, 2nd and 10.
Chritobin in those New York Giants uniforms. Here on 2nd and 10, Deshaun Watson, the former Clemson Tiger, will just throw it away.
Yeah, great defense here from Drini early on, putting Chritobin in some uncomfortable spots here on the offensive side of the ball. Already facing the 3rd and long here coming up.
Come back.
Big 3rd down, as you saw in our earlier featured video. If he doesn't make it here, he will probably go for it on 4th down. Watson and Calvin Ridley will pick up the first down.
That was a phenomenal read by Chritobin. Drini was sending the goons off of the edge. The blitz was coming in. Chritobin checks down to his hot read, that short dig underneath, picks up a big first down. And the young 20-year-old from Tampa, Florida, looking good on his first drive so far, especially after giving up a sack on his first play.
You're already pulling out the goons, huh? Where's the Grizzlies?
There's goons and there's Grizzlies, Scott.
They hand it off to Joe Mixon, and the Grizzlies didn't block for Mixon right there.
And you see right now, we got Drini Joker, Scott, on defense. He's the defending Madden Challenge champion. He's made over $130,000 playing John Madden football in just the last 2 years, because last year was his first year of eligibility, and he was able to get himself a belt and lost in the Madden Ball Finals. So it's a real treat for the viewer at home. You are blatantly seeing one of the best Madden players in the world on the main stage doing his thing in Drini Joker.
And remember, problem, he lost that final to Young Kiv on the final play.
Yeah, that was a big play. Him and Kiv had many battles, and Drini came back in this tournament, played Kiv in the wild card round, knocked Kiv out of the tournament for a little bit of revenge, and now Drini in here chasing his second belt.
Drini is the one on the left with the bandana. He's always bandanaed up. And Chritobin can't believe it. He actually loses a yard.
Wow.
Here comes a 4th and 2. And the question is, do you get your boot out and take the 3? And he will. Just a little bit of wind in his face. And this one's right. Oh! Hit the back.
The back. That's good.
Went through, hit the bar, and came back out. That's bananas. Still worth 3.
If it hit that front of the crossbar and came forward, it would have been no good. But since it hit the very back thing holding up the crossbar, field goal's good. Oh!
See the spin. We got some great audience. Actually, some of the folks that built our brand new Studio 209 here with some of their family, and I'm sure are glad for them to be here. A lot of sleepless long nights and getting everything ready so we can come out here and have a good time playing some John Madden football.
See Drini locked in right there, Scott. And we talk about a champion. That's a champion that has laser focus right there going into this game.
So they're ready to go. I mentioned every time they touch the ball first part of the game, they set up all their audibles there. There's a feature in the game called Audibles on the Fly. And that way, they don't have to worry about that as they move through the game. They don't get those 4 set audibles. They can really customize.
Yeah, what it allows you to do is it's kind of like how Peyton Manning used to do when he would get to the line of scrimmage with a variety of plays, read the defense, and get himself in the best play for the defense that he was seeing at the line of scrimmage. And that's exactly what these players are doing. They're making sure that the plays that they take with them to the line of scrimmage are something that they can check down to for whatever situation the defense shows them. So it really allows you to do your best Peyton Manning impression. And if you're going to play the game on this level, you need to have your audible game in check. And that's why they're setting them right there.
That's the voice of RG, part of the development team at EA, former competitive player. Of course, we're joined by Eric Problem Right, the guy that's won the most Madden championships. Actually has won this event 3 times. 08, but 10, 13?
Yeah, pre-MCS era.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't got a belt yet, so I am a little bit jealous of that. But, you know, I'm here watching and seeing that belt laid out in front of these 2 guys. It definitely gives me that hunger.
I don't care if it was 20 years ago or 20 minutes ago. That check catches the same. 2nd and 7. Carr looking to the outside. Julio can't bring it in.
That's a big hit right there. And number 47, that's Mel Blount, the legend. Remember, we're not playing with the real Giants or real Eagles. This is mud draft mode, and you get one round in that draft where you get to draft the former NFL legend. Chritobin obviously took the Hall of Famer Mel Blount in that round, and he laid the wood right there, just like he used to do in real life.
3rd and 7. Derek Carr, who somehow gets out of the pocket, and Drini will slide down. That was huge, Problem.
Yeah, that was huge. Great stick work there from Drini, able to scramble, pick up the first down, because it looks like he was going to be sacked right there. Fortunately for him, he's able to get out
of 100, that's a sack.
Yeah, but, you know, these guys are the best of the best, so watching him make that play was big.
Eckler cuts it, got to the numbers. Plants that foot and gets past midfield to the 46. Long gain.
This is one thing that makes Drini so good, Scott. He can get it done through the air, but he's also one of the best runners in the game. Look at him change direction, picks up the extra yardage, and he can do it all on offense. Chritobin's going to have his hands full, but we all know Chritobin is no slouch on defense, as he's shown time and time again throughout this tournament.
That wasn't even a one cut. That was just him feathering the turbo button to make sure he had control to turn it upfield. Diabolical. Three to nothing here in the opening quarter of the Madden 19 Challenge. Coming to you live from San Francisco. I want to wish you guys a happy St. Patrick's Day, and more importantly, a safe St. Patrick's Day.
7:34:29.
We appreciate you making Madden 19 a part of your day. Carr rolling out, firing, and T.Y. Problem, no animation.
Yeah, bad break there. T.Y. Hilton unable to get to that ball. If you're Drini, you need that one to be hauled in right there from T.Y. Unfortunately, it's a 3rd and 11 for him.
At the 47-yard line. Needs a bit more to get in field goal range.
Hey, 7:34. Hey.
I'd say he at least needs to get to the 38 or so. And right up the seam, Cook. That's Dalvin Cook, the running back from Florida State, dropped it. And now what do?
You have to go for this here if you're Drini. You can punt, but being down only 3 here, I think you go for this. Dalvin Cook out of position, that should be noted. You have a running back at receiver who's, never lines up right there, in NFL games, so doesn't haul that one in, and now it's a 4th and 11.
That's one of the differences between traditional football. We mentioned that short game clock. You might only get a handful of possessions, and that's why you gotta go. Carr rolling, looking, and Cook toe taps along the boundary. His first completion is a first down.
And so much high-level stuff right there. We talked about the audibles. You've seen Drini audibling around, doing his best Peyton Manning impression, rolls out, gets his guy open, gets the first down, and does it on 4th down. But we talked about it in 5-minute quarters. These players have to be aggressive on 4th down. As you can see, we're almost done with the first quarter, and Drini's still on his first possession.
Carr and Gurley will drop it. That'll stop the clock with just 6 ticks remaining. 1 of 5, problem. Ooh.
Yeah, 1 of 5. Tough start here as far as passing goes. But there was a drop in there and a ball that probably should have been caught more times than not from T.Y. So not too bad from Drini as far as the start goes. We'll see if he can punch this in this first red zone opportunity.
Just want to remind you guys, these are maybe our 2 best in the tournament defensive players. So we knew we'd be hanging out in Struggleville for the majority of the first half. Well, these guys try to figure out how to break the code, and there goes Carr, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. It's just a 3-0 ball game, but Drini is threatening. Come on back.
The Players Lounge with the best Madden minds in the world. We've just had a great first quarter of action. Question for you, Crush. If you had a chance to talk to Chritobin right now, what advice would you give him?
Well, he's played good defense the whole tournament, and he's already held him to a 4th down this game. He just needs to play better defense on these long situations, and then I feel like that'll help him a lot.
Pavin, our club championship winner?
On defense, Chritobin has to contain the pocket, especially with Derek Carr, and then, like Crush said, get off the field on long downs. And on offense, I say maybe run the ball a little bit more with Mixon.
All right, Kiv, if you had a chance to talk to Drini right now, what advice would you give him?
I'd tell him to keep running the deep corner routes. They've been open all game. He got an unlucky animation, but then got another one on big 4th down. And then on defense, I'd tell him to keep blitzing. It looked like Chritobin was uncomfortable when he was blitzing in the first quarter, so keep the pressure up and stick with the deep corner routes.
Yeah, I mean, for Drini and offense, a lot of it, Chritobin's been playing a lot of cloud flats, a lot of deeper playing flat zones. Just take your underneath stuff. Don't make it so difficult on yourself to get downfield. Just make it nice, simple, quick flat passes. Get downfield and score.
I'd tell Drini just play mistake-free on offense. He's a great defensive player. He's going to hold Chritobin to a minimum amount of points. So if he just doesn't throw any picks, he should be good.
Now, all right. So with the first quarter done, how much is the nerves? You feel like you're playing your best in the first quarter?
Usually it takes a drive to settle in. Like after the first drive, I feel like the nerves are done.
All right, back to you guys. Thanks.
The Madden Challenge is presented by Progressive Insurance. A touchdown for your budget. Visit Progressive.com and Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Eat a Snickers. Well, we've had a defensive first quarter, just 3-0. But Drini is on the move in his first possession. These guys are been known to work the clock.
Raider one.
Great running games, great defensive prowess. And now we're about to find out. Scott Cole along with you, along with RG and Eric Problem Right, a guy that's won this tournament 3 times. Drini trying to win his second belt here at the challenge. 3rd and 16. Carr looking, scrambling, gotta be careful. And here comes the 4th down, gotta get your boot out.
Yeah, you have to, and Drini with the mistake there, tried to throw it to B, didn't realize he passed the line of scrimmage, got hit, almost fumbled that ball.
Well, we got a tie ball game, 3-3. A little chip shot. A $190,000 prize pool that these guys are going to get a chunk out of. They've already punched their ticket to the Madden Bowl. And Sanders trying to get sticky with it. And he'll take it out to the 29-yard line. What do you expect in this drive, RG?
Well, if you're Chritobin, you don't want to keep settling for threes. You want to show that you can put together a real prolific drive here against young Drini. And you mentioned that $190,000 prize pool. You got to know that this is the biggest game of your life. This is a $35,000 game of John Madden football right here, Scott, because that's what first place for this tournament would get. It's actually, it's a $10,000 game of Madden football because both of these competitors have guaranteed themselves $25,000 in prize money already, with the winner of this game walking away with $35,000. So this is a $10,000 game of John Madden football you're seeing at home.
Well, there's only one guy at this desk that's played for that much. It's not you or I, RG, I can tell you that. And White will get to the 35-yard line. Here comes a 3rd and 4.
It's a big play right here.
There's Chritobin, the youngster from Lakeland, Florida. Grew up in NYC. That's why he's rocking the New York Giants.
Come back.
You got to say the football giants around here in San Francisco. Watson swing it outside, and James White will pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, he ran that high-low on that left side. It's an easy read. There's a corner route and a flat route. All you're looking at is the cornerback. Is he in a hard flat or a cloud flat? You make that read, and in that situation, he backed off and he dumped it down in the flats.
Both these guys have been really good throughout the week, taking what the defense gives them and not turning the ball over. Got to take care of the onion or it'll make you cry, and they've done a great job of that. As Mixon, an open lane, made a man miss, and that'll move the chains.
And we talked about the adjustments at the line of scrimmage, Scott. You saw Chritobin, he comes out in a shotgun set, reads the defense, gets under center, checks down to a run play, gets it to Joe Mixon for a big gain, big first down. Way to manage the offense at the line of scrimmage if you're Chritobin.
So 1st and 10. You're at the 48 now, just past midfield. And Deshaun Watson. The Houston Texan quarterback will go up under center, and he'll hand it off to Joe Mixon, and he'll get a few. Boy, good defense on both sides here.
Yeah, great defense so far. We talked about the defense pregame, and both players are bringing it on that side. And we also talked about the time management. You see Chritobin here. He wants to make this the last drive of this first half. We'll see if he can do that.
Yeah, you got to remember, Drini has only had one drive in this game, and we only got 2:36 left in this first half right now. So that just shows you how important these possessions are in competitive Madden.
Deshaun to Calvin Ridley. I told you earlier in the tournament, as a Clemson guy, Deshaun throwing to Calvin Ridley does not sit well with me, but that is a first down.
Richmond.
Ball at the 27-yard line. He might take this to the 2-minute warning, bro.
Yeah, I think he called this play to see what the defense was in. If he liked it, he can snap it. If he didn't like it, he could take it to the 2-minute warning, get back to the huddle, and come out with a better play.
So it will be the 2-minute warning. Chritobin right there. And there is Drini, all bandanaed up, trying to get his second belt. Won this event last year. Chritobin is looking for his first belt in his first live event. And there's a timeout by Drini. He wants the ball back.
Yeah, he wants that ball back. He's going to utilize all 3 timeouts if he has to preserve that time on the game clock. You see 157 up there, second quarter. He wants that ball back in his offense's hands.
Well, Drini had to kick 5 field goals yesterday to advance. And we've seen Chritobin kick his fair share of field goals in this mode. And now it's 3rd and 13 after the drop. And a lot of that is, you talk about defensive struggles in MUT draft, that's because you don't have like a Michael Vick and all these 99 ultimate legends running around the field. It gives a real advantage to the defense in this game mode. And sack all the way back at the 39. That might have pushed him out of field goal range.
Yeah, he's right around his range. Depending on this win, we'll see if he can knock this through. It's a big kick in this ball game.
It's going to be close.
A little maybe off the accurate, too. It's going to get blocked. Almost blocked. Right in the kicker. It should have been blocked, but instead, it's an automatic first down.
Wow.
And that'll push the ball to the 24-yard line. And Drini is sick.
It's the biggest play of the game thus far. It should have been blocked. Drini, it's all on his user at that point. He missed the block, turns into a roughing the kicker and a first down for Chritobin. And Chritobin could run this clock. Remember, Drini already used 2 timeouts in this half. Look for Chritobin to work that clock and make this the last drive of the first half.
One of our competitors, Boog, says it's like being on a wide open fast break with a layup. It's up to you to block that kick.
Absolutely, Scott. You got to time the snap. And he timed the snap perfectly, got the animation to get the block, but just didn't execute the block. Not only did he not execute the block, he hit the kicker in the process. Gives Chritobin the huge first down. And Chritobin looking to get 7 while he continues to milk this clock and keep the ball out of Drini's hands. That was huge.
And problem if you're Drini, you just got to regroup. You can't get in your feels here, can't get in the emotions. You got to focus on holding him to 3.
Yeah, you do, because if he gets 7 here, you're in a really bad spot going into the second half, down a full possession. You got to hold him to 3, try to get this ball back here, and maybe sneak out 3 before the half.
And the not good news for Drini is he has no timeouts left. So if Chritobin picks up this first down, he's going to be able to continue to milk this clock right here. And Drini might very well get through this whole first half only having one possession in the ball game. And that's what we talked about at the top of the show, with the clock being the biggest difference in competitive Madden compared to real-life football.
Yeah, Chritobin can run this clock all the way down. He has 3 timeouts. He's in no rush now. This should be the last drive of the half, either going into the half up 6-3 or 10-3 for Chritobin.
So 1st and 10 from the 12. Chritobin still has all 3 timeouts. And he'll go back to Joe Mixon. And Mixon just carrying defenders to the 6-yard line.
In no rush, let the clock run. I expect another run here on 2nd and 3. Look for Mixon to try to punch it in.
Back to Mixon, and this time he'll pick up the first down, but now clock is becoming a factor with 17 seconds. He'll stop it. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1. Get ready for the QB sneak.
Yep, QB sneak probably coming up. He got hit stick earlier and did fumble on that QB sneak, so we'll see if he does it against Drini. That hit stick earlier was against Boogs in the Final Four. We'll see if he goes back to it in the finals.
And Deshaun Watson says, forget about it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Touchdown Deshaun, and more importantly, touchdown Chritobin. He's about to take a 7-point lead, and it was all based on roughing the kicker.
And problem, how much can you throw your opponent off? When you're Chritobin, you're going up against the defending champion, and then you hold Drini to only having 1 real possession in the first half. What does that do to your psyche if you're Drini?
Yeah, it hurts to only have 1 possession and go down 7 late in this first half. You got to come out strong, though, in the second half. We'll see what he does with these last 16 seconds. A lot of players make mistakes here. I don't expect it from Drini, but a lot of people try to force a ball downfield. I don't expect him to do that, but we will see how this last 16 pans out.
Yeah, it might be worth taking a knee right here, Scott.
Yeah, it might be. You might want to get into the locker room right now. 15-play, 69-yard drive, taking up a majority of the quarter. And now we'll see what Drini elects to do here, trailing by a touchdown. A lot of bad things can happen right now if you're Drini.
Yeah, it can. You need everything to go right to get a field goal. This is really risky play to pass the ball here. But we all do this. We all try to get it, especially being on tilt, only 1 possession.
Carr buying time. You got B if you want him. He does. Gurley, see if he gets out of bounds, and he will at the 45-yard line. So now you need about 30 yards or so, maybe 20.
Yeah, about 20. Chritobin, really questionable defense there, allowing him to get that many yards and get out of bounds. Cannot do that again for Chritobin.
I was told there would be no math, but you're right. About 20 yards to get into field goal range.
Go. Get set. You got 56 there.
Carr once again in the gun here for Drini, trying to get some points before the half. A was open. He'll wait and throw it to X, but he can't get out of bounds. That's a fumble! And Hill will go out of bounds, can't get back up. That was awkward, but nevertheless, all is said and done. We got a 10-3 here at the half between Chritobin and Drini. Come on back for the second half.
So, ready?
Yeah.
Hours played per day.
Hours played per day. During grind time, at least 8.
6 to 8 hours.
Probably
4 hours.
5 to 8 hours.
I like to keep it low. I want to keep my mind fresh, so between like 2 to 3 hours a day.
Any off season?
No.
It's a long journey to get here.
Preparation?
Madden, they have a little Twitch channel where they stream all their games. I love watching those and seeing what my opponent likes to do.
Tournaments per year?
I just go to the 4 majors.
It's the home of the Madden 19 Club Championship.
Madden community.
I'm constantly meeting more and more guys each year, learning more and more about people off the field as well as on the sticks. So I describe it as family and competition.
Rage quit?
No, I don't ever rage quit.
No.
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
I don't rage quit. I don't lose.
Wow. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a new Patriots Club champion winner.
Trash talk?
Everybody does.
No.
I just let my game, do the speaking.
You can't beat me.
Living up to his name, crushing it.
Yo, that hurt. That gotta hurt. I try to keep it to a minimum.
I'm just saying shit. You gotta understand that. Get out. Get out.
Belt or cash price?
At first it used to be about the belt, and it still is, but man, that money tastes good. I like money.
Both.
Probably the belt.
Cash. Then build.
Belt. The belt is just what means the world to me. Like, this is what I play for. I wanna, show people that I'm the best, and the belt's the only way you can really prove that.
Well, it depends. I'm going for legacy at this point, so I want my second belt.
Comes down and catches it. Are you kidding me?
Let's go.
We are here at the half between Chritobin and Drini, and it was all about this kick right here. Should have been blocked, but instead it's roughing the kicker. And that gave, you're right, that gave you a first down, and he's able to plunge it in for our only touchdown of the first half. When we come back, we'll have the second half here live from San Francisco.
I think when you're looking at the MCS, it's always about finding the best player.
Let's go! Come on, man!
The Madden Classic is old school Madden at its finest.
Anybody could join. It wasn't any qualifications. You just show up and you play.
Sit on the same couch as your opponent, talk some trash, get in your face, and battle it out.
The club tournament is on salary cap, so you can't have every best player in the game. I feel like it's the mode with the biggest skill gap because you have to create a team. You got to be the GM of the team, and then you also have to perform on the field. And you can build a team to your strengths or build a team to your weaknesses, and whichever one gives you the best chance to win.
The Madden Challenge, we won't be able to pick our own schemes. It'll just be all random. It's called freestyling. They give us 3 players to choose from, and then we just pick one. It'll be 20 rounds of that, and that's your team.
There's a lot of strategy involved. You get limited on playbooks even, so it takes a lot of creativity to win.
Madden 18 Challenge champion.
There are a lot of opportunities to qualify for the bowl, which is what makes the bowl so interesting, is you end up getting the strongest field possible to crown the best Madden player.
And young Kev is gonna be your champion.
They get 2 players from the Madden Classic. We're gonna take 4 from the Madden Club Championship. The Madden Challenge, they're gonna take 2 spots. 6 guys are gonna be for the next highest MCS points. If you don't make any noise for the first 3 tournaments, you have the last chance qualifier to make a name for yourself.
Come on, man!
I think it's a little bit of everything. You do it for the people you play with because a lot of these dudes are family. So you play with them, you play for them, you play for your family, you play for money, you play for all sorts of things. It's a community, so that's why we do it.
Revis! Come on!
Kill! You called it, Skip. Oh, one at a time. He hasn't gotten 7. Back here at Studio 209 at the EA Broadcasting Center in San Francisco, California. Here at the half, we got a 10-3 ball game where the newcomer, the Cinderella story, Chritobin, has got a 10-3 lead over Drini, the reigning Madden 18 Challenge champion, trying to defend his belt. He's going to get the ball first. I'm Scott Cole along with RG, Eric Problem Right, who's won this event 3 times. He's with us as well. And Eric, you've been in a lot of these situations where, hey, you're on ESPN, you got all these breaks going on. What's going through the players' heads right now?
Yeah, you're just trying to figure out what you want to do in the second half if you're Drini, and same with Chritobin, but Drini more so because he's playing from behind. He has to come out here, put a drive together, and get 7 on his first drive.
1st and 10 at the 25, and there is Cook. Gets away from 1, but a big gain of 0, RG.
Yeah, and if you're Drini, you know how big this drive is, because you saw how biblical Chritobin can be with his clock management. There's no way you want to let Chritobin get this ball back without you going down the field and getting some form of points, especially with this only being your second possession in the ball game. This is a huge, huge drive for the defending champion, young Drini.
Second and 10. Carr swings it to Cook. And Cook and somehow gets the recovery. I think that was maybe the guard, number 63, who got out there and jumped on it.
Too much spinning right here from Drini. The spin move can be very effective, but if you get hit right after it, it increases your fumble chance. Very fortunate for Drini that one of his goons was able to run over and dive on that ball, prevent the turnover.
And
he dropped it.
Drop it. He's 3 of 8.
Huge drops have been the story for Drini's offense. They're unable to haul these balls in, and now he faces a 4th and 3 from his own 32 in the second half, down 7. It's going to be a tough spot for Drini here. Needs to convert this.
It's a big 4th and 3, like Problem said. He's backed up on his own 32-yard line. We got ourselves a situation early in the second half, boys.
You ask yourself at home, why doesn't he punt? Because that's the unicorn of Madden. You just never see it due to the short game. And Gurley, sure-handed. That'll give him a fresh set of downs.
With ice in his veins when he need to have it, he had it with a big dot for the first down, because if he got stopped right there, Chritobin's already in field goal range, and then he could just milk clock and make it a 2-possession ball game without having to do pretty much anything. That was a huge first down from Drini Joker.
And RG, for the folks watching at home that don't know a lot of the Madden lingo, why do you call it a dot, my friend?
A dot's something you throw when you find a receiver open in space with no defender around him, or you catch your opponent off guard. So if you get a nice little completion, we call it a dot. For example, Tom Brady throws dots all day in the NFL.
2-yard dots.
Raider 1. 694.
7-point game.
93.
Hey, whatever works, Scott. Whatever gets you the ring.
That I'll agree with.
In this
Second
case,
and 11. Carr.
It's good defense.
Buying time. He'll get it to Julio. Almost got away from Khalil Mack. That was wild.
Yeah, broken play. Drini trying to make something happen. He did pick up 2 yards. Could have been even more, but Chritobin with a good tackle after the catch.
Ball at the 39. Opening drive of the second half for Drini, trailing by a touchdown. And Gurley, double spin, out past midfield. Drini's already won well over 100 grand in just his short Madden career. This is just his 7th live event. He's made them all. He has not missed a Madden major in his short career. Carr here on 1st and 10. Rolling and just throws it away.
Yeah, great defense from Chritobin. That pass rush is starting to get there with Chritobin taking away the run game, knowing that Drini wants to pass. Look